Hello everyone. Welcome to the YouTube Model Builders Thursday night general hangout. Thursday's hangouts are for the general discussion on model railroading that we all can set a topic to discuss for the night. Thursday's hangouts are the proud sponsor of the Tuesday night presentations, the YouTube Model Builders, eMag, and the YouTube Model Builders live show. I want to say thanks for everybody joining in tonight's show. And here's your host for the night, Johnny Reb of Southeast Rails. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Another Thursday night. I think we only got one left in this year. Let's see who all we got over here in the chat. We got Mark over there, Sparky, Bill, John, Jason, Etherville brother, Bro, 420. What's going on, John? Yeah, we got good old Josh over here in the panel, and Mr. Ron, and howdy doody Chris.
Yeehaw.
Okay, here comes the got the Canadians, here come the Australians now. How you doing, Ron?
Are we getting a hostile takeover now, Johnny?
No, it's even 1-1.
Okay.
Mr. Lee's there. Well, what you feverishly working on over there, Ron?
Well, I have been doing some weathering and trying out some of Mr. Ralph's weathering materials, and so I'm just grinding up a box car at the moment, a little bit, not too much.
Yeah, okay.
I got a couple others here that I've grind up a whole lot more. This is the one I'm just finishing up. Let's see if we'll focus on that. A little older, a little rougher, a little grimier.
Well, I asked him over here in the chat, Sparky did, if anybody's got that new ESU wireless controller yet. Jason said no, but he's seen it in person.
Yeah, I don't think anybody that I know, in the community has bought it yet, but Mr. Jenkins said that he heard Marty, another Australian, said that they're at the beginning of the new year. Let me step back for a second. They're working with engine driver, who's GMRI, to bring the throttle feature into engine driver for that throttle. So that's supposed to be released at the beginning of this coming year, particularly in January. So that throttle will actually be able to use for pretty much everything, since it will be able to communicate with GMRI.
Oh, all right.
The big thing with that is the knob on it, the buttons on it, so that the software can use them. So that's what they're kind of working on. But right now, it probably would work since it's an Android device, but you wouldn't be able to use the thumb wheel or the extra buttons that ESU is providing.
Yeah.
But Brian got the ESU. What's that? The base station, Johnny? What's that called?
He's the guy that's rapping right now.
The tabletop. I can't think of the name right now, but he just got that system. That's the DCC system.
Yeah, Sparky said he got the new system. He just hadn't had time to get it out, play with it yet.
I mean, Wolfson's a game changer, especially with that throttle, because now they're allowing you the ability to choose what system you want to use with their throttle. You know, it's basically now a universal throttle.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good.
And their decoders are great too. I mean, just the features that their decoders have that you can put your own sounds into them is, I mean, you need a programmer at $150, but if you have a big fleet, kind of pays for itself, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
The only problem with the throttle, staying on that topic, is kind of the price point. You know, I think it's a little expensive, but I mean, for what you're getting, I mean, I guess you really kind of gotta look at that, you know.
All right, Don Jenkins said ECOS is the base station. How you doing, Brian? Are you saying happy holidays?
Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Hanukkah.
Yeah.
Cover all the bases.
Well, I guess before we get too far along, I'll last night was supposed to be into a locomotive shop, but unfortunately, because of circumstances out of our control, we had to cancel that show. But to remind everybody, it will be on air to next Wednesday, December 27.
27.
Yeah. At its usual time of 8 o'clock Central, 9 o'clock Eastern. So. And Joe puts on a good dog and pony show too, so yeah, it'll be a good one.
I do like a good dog and pony show.
Yeah, as we say down here in the South, he'll get her done. So, you doing anything, Josh, or you just sitting there? Oh, I see him way up under the... Yeah, and here he comes. He's off. He's running. Is he going to make the...
He's sleeping underneath the layout again.
No, I'm...
Inside voice, Josh.
Whew. Ow. I'm right now working on some wiring under here. I'm working on the control panel down here, and I'm wiring the push buttons and tortoises I showed in the video.
Okay.
and I just got the magnets in and everything for
Whoa,
from
Josh, inside voice, dude. You're killing
sorry,
us.
I got. Where's the one? I just got these magnets in from Hong Kong to test out.
Yeah.
And I got that, and then where's the one? And I got the control. And there's the control panel. I'm in the middle wiring for the magnets and the tortoises. I just got it all installed over here in Jacob Coal Company. Now I just have this last section to do.
Okay.
I have to run upstairs really quick, and then I'll be right back down.
All right. Make sure it's quick. Ralph?
Good evening, Ralph.
Howdy, gentlemen. How's everyone tonight?
I'm here.
You're here. What are you working on?
I'm still working on some of those weathering techniques some guy showed me on this show he's doing.
Oh.
Oh, that guy.
That guy, yeah.
Yeah, I know that guy. Did it work any better for you?
Well, I'll show you in just a minute. Yeah, I think I'm getting a lot closer on those ones I was working on. I'm actually working on a different one now. You know, I'm kind of ADD, so I got to work on like 4 at a time.
Well, it goes back to the old saying, like they used to say with real estate agents. The mantra was location, location, location.
Yeah.
With weathering, it's practice, practice, practice. And it's funny because the more you practice, the better you get. The better you get, the better confidence you have. The more confidence you have, you're willing to try anything. Just to give you an example, when I got my first steam locomotive from Broadway Limited, a Mikado, it was $300 and some odd, and this was before I was doing weathering or just getting started, I guess. And I thought, there's no way, no way I'm going to make this dirty, not after what I paid. Now, I have no issues whatsoever. I'll pick it up tomorrow if I have to.
Well, I've always been one who's willing to try about anything, and well, maybe almost stupidly, but I certainly understand what you're saying with the $300 locomotive.
Yeah.
So the other things, you go ahead.
Sparky 107 said, so Ron, is this a new weathering idea you are trying, or your first time trying?
No, I've done quite a bit of weathering. Most of what I've done in the past has been stuff that I've done with an airbrush and a little bit of rust streaking with some oils. But I'm really trying out, and I think I'm really going to like some of these techniques that Ralph has been using with the water mixable oils and the gouaches for some of the grime and stuff. That he's been doing on his weathering show here the last 2 months, 3 months, whatever it's been. So it's just trying some new, not even so much the technique as it is just the different media, and kind of getting used to it.
That's the big issue, is getting used to it. Once you get used to it, it's like old hat after that.
Well, and of course, what I was working on before was some pretty heavy, weathering, which was somewhat intentional and somewhat got a little carried away. Working on so much lighter. There you go. So much lighter weathering now. Just kind of griming up some newer cars and this is working great for that. It's pretty easy on this part so far.
Okay, Sparky. As long as you've been in here, I think you know who Ralph is. He's right here on the screen in the red shirt. Mr. Ralph Rossetti does the weathering show for us.
He's also the guy in, I forget what issue of Monroe Hobbyist. He's the guy who was the cover photo with the weathered Southern Pacific diesel.
And also, Ralph, I don't know if I'm pronouncing this guy's name right. I hope so. Etherville Bro 420. He said, I keep getting them to look like they are 99 years old.
Yeah. And that's...
Okay.
Go ahead, Ron.
No, go ahead.
Well, that's what happens if you don't use a prototype photo to work from. It doesn't have to be the same road name, as long as the weathering technique that's on that car is what you want the end to look like, and that's what you work to. But if you try and do it out of your head, you end up putting on too much, and it makes it look like it's 99 years old or whatever. The only problem...
And with that thought in mind, I'll show you now. These three that I've worked on here, I intended for all of them to look pretty old because they would be pretty old. So these are fairly intensely weathered. This, Ralph, this is the one that I was working on that was so overdone that I was working on taking some off, and I think I'm getting pretty close to something that that I can work with. Let's see. Hold on. Let me make sure my camera's. Yeah. Okay. We're getting a lot closer. I mean, I want it to look old and weathered, but you remember what it looked like before?
Yeah. No, that's looking good.
So it's coming along. I wish I could get that to really focus.
It's good right there.
Here's another. This is another covered hopper that that I've been working on, and again, this would be pretty old and weathered. So.
Oh, that looks good.
Focus, you think? Yeah, I'm pretty pleased with how this one's coming out.
Yeah, your tuxedo really makes them stand out.
Yeah, that's going to be my new look. I'm going to start wearing a tuxedo next. No.
And holding an airbrush.
Hey, what? Yeah.
And holding an airbrush.
That's what I love. The man with the golden airbrush on this Marker Mark catalog. And then this is, show you one more here. This is that box car that I was working on the other night, and I think I'm pretty well done with it. I think.
Oh yeah.
So I'm getting there. Again, those are pretty heavily weathered. Now, like I said, I'm working on some newer cars that I'm going to basically just kind of grime and not do too much else too.
Yeah, Jerry said, Ron, it looks like most of them here in the Chicago less the graffiti.
Yeah.
And Wally's weathering, said Ralph, is absolutely right. Always look at photos for inspiration.
I'm glad somebody agrees with me.
Well, we keep trying to get your wife to agree with you some, but,
Yeah, well, there's ain't no way that's going to happen. Be a cold day in July.
Oh, does. Did I tell you that plaque I saw one day in the store here a few weeks ago?
No.
Yeah. Maybe I'll go back see if it's still there. Send it up there to you and give it to her. It says I would agree with you, but then both of us would be wrong.
Both be wrong. I've seen that.
That's all I need.
Yeah. Yeah, Dwight up here, back when they're asking who Ralph is, he's going, Ralph, the Canadian Italian stallion. Alright, Josh informed me he was back again, so you want to enlighten us a little more, Josh? And there he comes, flying out from under the layout.
Sorry, I pulled a muscle when I was trying to get up the last time, and I was actually a little bit in pain. But I promise. So what I was gonna say is, if I can get this cord unstuck. So wait, I unwrap this cord.
Ow.
Really quick.
You're having a good night tonight, Josh.
Okay, there. Should be long enough. So I'm working on this control panel. It will control these 3 magnets. The last, and I bought those Hong Kong magnets. They're going over here. I'm gonna try those out. They're DC. These are AC. So I have both power supplies down here, and I'm wiring this. I'm right now wiring the tortoises. I want to get this done by Christmas. I have to get this done by Christmas.
So I got to ask you a question then. What are the magnets for?
Okay, there is a and there's a pulley on, and I'm going to take this caboose. You see here, there's actually a magnet. This is the magnet, and it pulls it down, and then it opens the uncouple.
Oh, it's an uncoupler. Okay, all right. Now I understand.
Yeah.
And that's
what the.
That's not.
But how does
Josh? That's your bad.
How's the magnet going to operate your tortoise machine?
I'm wiring.
What's the relationship?
I'm wiring those both. They go in the same control panel.
Oh, I see. Okay.
See the push buttons? Those are the magnets, and then these toggle 4 pole toggle switches are controlling the They're controlling the signals and sidings. All my switches, other than the yard limit and the steel mill area, the mainline switches are mostly electric block switches. I just decided that on my O-Gates layout, the HO layout that I will build, that's going to be mostly dark territory. And it will not have signal controlled area. So, yeah. So I got all the terminal blocks underneath wired. The other thing is I started working on Jack's switching contest video. I started working on that this week. I actually had a friend of mine come over and we actually ran the trains. Some of that film will be cut into the video. And I made this blue flag for the video. You had to have one of the. That was an extra point. The other thing is I do have my Christmas tree up. My basement one, not the. I do have one upstairs. Here's my Christmas tree. It has a hole. It goes where a building normally sits, and the building covers up the hole. I'm not going to detail that building. Never I will. The only thing that shows on this side is garage door is the loading dock anyway, and there's just a door. You just I take the building off during Christmas time, and there's my plug to put the Christmas tree in. And like all my other stuff, there's a bunch of other little projects I've been working on, though. That's pretty much it down here. Let me cut it. I don't know if my phone's got enough percentage. If I can show it. Yeah, I got enough percentage for a minute. I'm going to really quickly jump back upstairs because I got something to show you upstairs. Will come on my phone. So I only have a little bit of battery left. I'm going to jump in really quick and show it. And then I will be back down.
Okay.
Alright, let's switch rooms.
I gotta also finish this by Christmas. Though here's our Christmas. I haven't even ran a train on it yet. Though here's our Christmas layout.
Alright.
And I got the buildings. I do this. I do something different every year.
Does it climb the tree, Josh?
What?
Does it climb the tree?
No.
Why not? All right, so plan that for next year.
Maybe. So this year I've actually been really slow on it. I've been pretty busy. So I got my station area right there. I got my little town. Sometimes it's more buildings, sometimes it's less. It's less buildings this year. And I have the snow down. Last year I just did roads out of duct tape and didn't have any of this puffy snow stuff around the layout. And the train goes around this, goes around, and then ducks in. Originally this was designed for HO as well. There is tunnel portals for HO down there. So I've never hooked it up.
You're getting lazy.
Well, I see, Josh, you're going to have a problem when you run a train because part of your scenery is overlapping your track.
Where?
We're looking at it.
That will be cleared. I am arranged. I just have to push that.
Watch the tree fall over.
And just get that under there, though. I'm not going to do it now. So that's pretty much it. I'm going to jump back off and let my dad get back to watching his TV.
Oh, you interrupted your dad to do this? My goodness. Pretty good guy then to put up with that.
But he should be, where he should be down there is wiring. And we're working on tortoises or magnets.
That's your job. That's your job.
He comes to operate down. It's part his layout and part mine. I spend the most time down there.
Yeah, but you're wiring your part.
Actually, the one time I sold my Thomas trains, Lionel Thomas train set to him because I just needed the money and I knew I could still operate it with it.
If you sold it to me, there'd be no way you'd be able to touch it. If you were my son, no, you'd have to buy it back.
So yeah, that's pretty much the progress I think. Other than chasing short lines all week, that's pretty much it. And I came out with a layout update, and here is what I wanted. Here, just really quick. Really quick. I'm gonna share this so I can get it loaded.
Yeah, Bruce said when Josh is showing the tree, he said the Christmas helix.
Yeah.
Isn't that what's that Macy's in New York City does that? Didn't they do that or something? They had that?
Not that I know of.
I thought so. I thought they.
Yeah, it's literally they literally have two helixes, one running inside of the other. The train goes up the outside helix and down the inside, and it's like 8 feet tall. It's the wildest thing.
Oh, okay.
I saw a picture of it. I don't know, somewhere here a while back.
Here's my one of my last rail cleaning trips. I cut the Ohio Bicentennial unit. So this is all Wheel Lake area. That's pretty much all. Everything else, that's really what progress has happened this week. Other than that, so I'll let you get going because I will chat forever. I gotta let somebody else talk. So if anybody has any questions, I would like to answer them.
All right, we'll keep that in mind.
Yeah, MHB. Yeah, it's just open topic here. As long as it's about trains, train modeling, control systems, whatever, we'll throw something at it. So if you got anything you want to talk about, ask. Put it up here in the chat. Anybody seen anything interesting this week? I guess not.
On what?
Anything.
Well, you had your rail fanning, and I was just asking if anybody else might have something. Hey, Steve, how you doing?
The only other rail fan I think in our group is Dan. D-A-N. Dan. He's the only. I think he's the only other rail fan in our group.
Oh, I thought he's NAD. Instead DAN.
I don't know. So,
Oh, Steve said that they took down the tower that he's been modeling. And Jerry said, Ron, you have great metal loads video.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, that scrap aluminum load I was working on here a while back, video on that went up this last week. So,
yeah, Kenny B says, hey guys, my wife is watching this and she doesn't understand any of it. Well, to be honest about it, Kenny, I'm not sure if we understand it either. We just do it.
okay, here's a question for you guys, or Chris. Do you say train under Chris already does though? Any of you guys other than probably Chris set up a train around the Christmas tree?
I have at times. I don't have one now, but since you brought it up here, my wife graciously allows me to put this tree in our kitchen every year. So, so yeah, the trains go all the way up the tree.
Yeah, one on the layout actually does the same thing with those. Those are Hallmark.
Yeah, those are the Hallmark ones.
Yep, I have the same ones.
I got lucky and found those literally the first year they started coming out with them, and my wife has collected ornaments at different times from Hallmark, and she started 4 or 5 different series, and they'll do like 3 and stop, and I think this is like the 22nd year for the for the Lionel ones. So she's like, "They ever going to quit making those?" I said, "Well, I hope not."
Ralph, whoops. Let me get back up here. It just disappeared. Wally is asking if have you tried the MIG oil brushes yet?
Yes, I have. I have a whole collection of them. Where are they? I don't have them all. I don't need them all. But yeah, I've got them. It's a neat little product, Ron. You know how you're using oil paint?
Uh-huh.
Let me take one that'll show better on the screen. It's like your wife's mascara. How you pull it out and it's got a brush in it.
Uh-huh.
This is a fine point brush. And it's got oil-based paint on it.
Hmm.
And this particular one, what the hell is the color called? Ochre. You can do dots and lines and so on. I don't do a lot of painting with these, but once you do that, then you come back with a dampened brush with mineral spirits and you work the outside edges of that, or if it's a dot, you run it down to get the streak.
Streak it. Right. Yeah.
All right, and MHB, which is Matt, and it'll take me a few times, Matt, but I'll finally get the hang of it. So now you see why I'm bald. I can't remember nothing. He said, I need to find out if anybody make a replacement engine for the Athearn Blue Box SW1500.
Try A-Line. A-Line models, I believe it is. They make a lot of stuff. They make replacements. They make chassis and stuff like that, as well as the motor comes with a flywheel. Or if you can get right from Athearn, you get the motor that goes into a Genesis loco. The motors are pretty well all the same. They may have slightly different flywheels on them, but that's what I've done before. A-Line. Let me see if I can find it. No. Okay. Okay. It is ppw-aline.com, and I will put it in the chat. So I'm going to put it in as capitals because it'll show better, and you'll know the difference. When the period is, I'm going to put in the word dot, and I'll put in dash as well, the word dash.
Yeah, there's some guy in here, South Brooklyn Railroad. Is this Thursday night get together? Well, last I heard it was.
No, it's Tuesday.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, there's the link. ppw-aline.com. And they have more than just motor repower kits. They have also all kinds of stuff. You can buy body shells. I think they also have railings and stanchions, and also a lot of transport truck parts in HO.
Ralph, let's see, Wally said, Ralph, the Genesis motors are sketchy on availability, and they may be too big for the switchers.
What you're looking for is a closed can motor, not an open frame.
Yeah. Well, Bill, if it's too quiet for you, you can always join us here. We got plenty of room.
There's room.
Yeah, There you go. There's an idea. Yeah, I've never had any problem getting a Genesis motor from Athearn. As long as you're paying up front, they'll sell it to you.
That's the key component.
Yeah.
Show me the money.
Let's get back here to John L. He said he was modeling HON3 over in Fort Worth, Texas. Tell you what, John, you might get in touch with us sometime. We'll see about maybe trying to do a show with you or get something going in the HON3 part of it, because this is about all the different trains. So we get a few people in here, or more people, that are doing HON3. Be glad to see what they're doing, what you got going, how it works.
Dwight says, you can tell Andy's missing.
Yeah.
So quiet. Oh, Jason's here. What are you working on here, buddy?
I'm gonna weather up some boxcars.
Wow, see what you started, Ralph?
Well, I was gonna do some detail to a gondola, but I don't have any air tanks and all that to put on it. So I said, well, I'm gonna have to weather these cars now.
We get one more in here doing the weathering job. Ralph's gonna have to get his flute out and start playing, I guess. Piper. We'll see how many start falling. Matt said, thanks, I had this engine since late 80s. Yeah.
There you go. 1978, remotored, still works. And I got the motor from A-Line. Still works beautifully smooth.
That S, the R, no, that's S.
It's an S1, I believe, or S2.
Yeah. That's it. Did you put DCC decoder in that or no?
Of course. I don't run DC on my layout. I have a DCC layout. Even though I run Digitrax, I can if I want, but only one.
Oh,
the nerve of some people's kids.
Yeah.
Big Bill has got a question here. Is 3-in-1 oil / WD-40 bad for mild trains? And then goes for cleaning track. And I'll tell you what, me personally, any kind of oil on that track is not a good idea at all. I found even out there at the store where the track does get pretty doggone dirty, alcohol and a paper towel does the best.
Yeah.
And for cleaning wheels on a loco, same thing, alcohol and paper towel. Put it on the track, roll the engine up on it, turn it up, and let her spin.
Yeah.
Ow. Josh. Turn the motor on, give it 3 seconds, then start talking. We got headphones on here.
Okay, before you start, Josh, WD-40 and 3-in-1 oil were made from metal. If you have any cars with plastic wheels and you use that oil on your track, it will, in time, degrade the plastic. And the same with the ties, if you're using plastic ties or flex track. There are special oils for using for locomotives and so on, because we run plastic gears. They have special oils for that.
Light oil for the.
It has to be made. It has to be made specifically for plastic.
Yeah.
There's one that works very well. It's called XL.
Yep.
XL lubricants.
That's the same stuff I use for locomotive cleaning. Track, I just use rubbing alcohol and a track eraser.
Yeah,
Well, you just opened up a can of worms there, Josh, with the track eraser.
Yeah. Kenny says Labelle oil.
Yes, that's a good one too.
I use Labella. That's. I've got one bottle of Labella. I've had it for 20 years, and
you're probably not even halfway through yet.
I've used, oh yeah, not even close. I've used maybe 20% of it in 20 years. Yeah.
There you go.
Well, what
same way with their, same way I also use their gear grease, which is really, really good stuff.
Yep.
But again, it's Teflon, and again, I've had the same. I bought them both at the same time, and they will literally last a lifetime.
Well, what kind of can of worms did I open up?
With the track eraser.
Yeah.
Okay, what you end up doing using a track eraser, or at one point somebody mentioned the eraser that you use to erase ink off of paper, that sort of thing. All of those erasers have abrasives in them, and the abrasives scratch the track. The scratches collect the dirt, and that's where you have your problems, along with the slight arcing, especially in Lionel. You get lots of arcing on your track because of the AC current. But in HO, it's a slighter spark, but it's still there, and it leaves black on the track if it's not making good contact. So,
and Ralph, you're right on what you're saying, but Lionel makes a special eraser just for cleaning track.
Well,
that's what I use.
Bright Boy is one made special for cleaning track, and it still scratches the track.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so, I use the one from Lionel. And I buy it, and I only use it in the situations where it's so dirty that I use the rubbing alcohol. I use magic eraser to clean the track, though. So when I do, where like a turnout, where a train could stop, it's very badly dirty. That's the only where I use that Lionel track eraser.
Okay, so you still have a problem. This is where I said you've opened up a can of worms. You now have scratches on the track, and they'll continue to collect dirt, and you should close up those scratches. And the easiest way to do it is with a stainless steel washer. This here's a 2-inch stainless steel washer that I've epoxied to a block of wood, and I run it back and forth over my tracks, and it hones the surface, so it closes those scratches, closes them down so they don't collect dirt. I hardly ever have to clean my track, except for dust.
I am having a problem in one spot. So I've never used the track eraser in that spot, I don't think. Back in the way back where one of my main turnouts right now are sparking badly. So I don't know if that's causing it or something else is causing it.
All right, Ralph, we're fixing to give you the goosebumps down your neck. Matt said he was told at one time to use 220 sandpaper.
Oh,
Okay, that's a good start. It
2000
levels out any
yeah.
and it levels out your joints and so on, but then you have to build up. You have to go up to at least 800 and then hone it.
Yeah. Let's see, Lee is asking, where is a good company to buy good brass parts for locomotives?
Who's got the brass parts now? Is it
Here about a week
Bowser?
ago,
Bowser, I think.
we were talking about somebody, independent company called Classic something. Brass. They did brass parts. Or edge brass. No, I think they did edge brass. Like it's when you got your grocery carts and stuff from.
Mm-hmm. Company that used to make all the parts was called CalScale, and I think Bowser bought them out. I could be wrong, but I think they did. And why won't it go?
Wally said precision scale, Bowser.
There you go.
Alright, Kenny's asking, what's the secret with stainless steel? Can't you use brass, copper, or regular steel?
Okay, if you remember the old brass track, if you were to allow it to sit, it will eventually turn green. Brass is too soft, and copper is the same way. Regular steel, if anything breaks off, it's going to be magnetized and it's going to be picked up by the motor of the locomotive passing over it. So you want to get rid of all the filings. So the stainless steel is not magnetic, and it's hard, very hard. So and you're talking nickel silver rails. So you want to hone them down, and brass and copper will not do that for that track.
Matt was asking, where can you get 1200 grit sandpaper? Hardware store, building supply stores should have probably
Automotive supply that have paints and auto body supplies.
Yeah, automotive would be a real good place.
I know in the hobby store I work in, they have the 1200 paper. They have up to I think it's 2000.
you can usually get up to about 1,500 in a hardware store. I mean, any place that carry any fine wood, hardwood.
Yeah, Bill Fusion Enterprises. Chinese stainless steel is magnetic, though. That's because it's not true stainless steel. If it's true stainless steel, it won't be magnetic because that's a pure alloy metal.
And why would you want to buy Chinese stainless steel?
Probably because he was eating a bowl of rice at the time.
Whether it's Chinese or not, the stainless steel doesn't leave fragments behind like the other metals do. Okay.
Yeah, Matt, if the hardware doesn't have it, go to, like Ralph said, go to the parts store. Yeah, like down here we got Slack Auto, we got Pep Boys, something like that. They'll have those really high number grit sandpapers for sanding car paint. Buddy Long has got here, is it a bad idea to build a layout in an outbuilding with no insulation, basically 4 walls and a roof? Would changing temperature affect anything? Yeah, it will affect everything.
Yeah.
Your track will become a snake. It will wiggle and move all over. You need
from one day to the next.
Yeah, you do need to insulate
it
and put heat and air in there too.
What part of the country are you living in? Because if you're hot and cold, it's not going to go to extremes. If it goes really hot and then it's just stays warm, that may not be so bad. It's when it's cold and then it goes to hot that's going to drive it crazy. He's in Pennsylvania. Okay. Yes.
And the humidity is going to kill you worse than the temperature is, because with those changes of temperature, you're going to get huge fluctuations in humidity, and that's going to make a big difference on your, especially assuming you're building it on some sort of a wood base.
Yeah, because if you use that homicide or any kind of press board, that humidity get into it and they'll swell and then they'll start coming apart.
Or plywood, even lumber will.
Well, plywood you're a little bit better off with, because it does have some cross-grain dimensional structure to it.
Yeah.
But you can do the base and so on out of steel studs.
That's true.
I've seen guys do that before.
He said wood platform 3 rail. Uh-oh, here we go, Chris. And Josh.
Come on, step up to the plate, guys.
What was the question again? I'm sorry. I wasn't listening. I'm not going to lie.
Can you repeat the question?
Chris, you can't be sleeping in class now. You'll be back in the principal's office again.
Let's go back and replay like the last 5 minutes of the show.
I've been in the principal's office my whole entire life. Why would I stop now?
Pay attention. We're going to ask questions.
Buddy was asking about building a layout in an outbuilding with no insulation or climate control. And he said it's on a wood platform and he's doing 3 rail.
I wouldn't suggest it, especially if he's in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
With the temperature fluctuations that we get.
Yeah, I would do insulation.
It's not just insulating either, it's putting heat in there too.
Yeah. I really wouldn't suggest it.
Yeah, and hopefully if he's got a concrete floor, he's going to put some kind of mats down, because that concrete gets cold. You're going to start having muscle cramps in your legs.
Yep, that's right. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, Matt said, I I have not had a lot of problems. But he's down there in Florida. He said his problem is the dust.
What kind of flooring does he have? And is the ceiling open, or is it closed like a finished ceiling?
Alright, he said that looks like it would be safer to insulate. Yes, concrete floor. Thanks a bunch. Great to know. Yeah, if you got cracks in the building, you want to be sure to get those closed up. Don't have any drafts, but being on the concrete floor in the outbuilding, yeah, you definitely want to put something down on the floor because that will make your leg muscles cramp up.
And the concrete creates dust, bad dust.
Yeah.
If it's not finished.
And the reason why I know that is 36 years of working on a concrete floor. Which nowadays, I mean, you can go to Home Depot or whatever and get those square carpets. They have the glue on them.
Matt.
Carpet tile.
Yeah, carpet tile.
They're
The mats.
rubber back.
Yeah. The mats, oh man, them are lifesavers.
Yeah, they're not really that expensive.
No, they ain't.
And you could even get fancy with those. Make your own patterns on the floor and stuff. Get a little psychedelic maybe.
Well, I didn't go psychedelic, but I did put a pattern on the floor.
Okay.
Yeah, look at what Josh has got. He's got the rubber mats, and that's probably from Harbor Freight, Josh. Orange or red, whatever that was.
These ones, I don't know where they came from. These are a long time ago when I was a little kid. The other ones that are down here are from Harbor Freight. And then this carp, I just stole it from the other room. There will be over top these. Will be these. These are the what your guys are talking about. Carpet tiles. And what one of my friends layout, a guy went to operate on his layout. One of his tips was to actually put this over, put the mat in the bottom, and the foam tiles, and then the carpet tiles over top of it, and then put them down together.
Yeah, that way you got a cushion.
Yep, that's what my plan is. I'm more going to have to try to figure out what if I'm going to get new tiles because they don't match the two different tiles, and they're different heights. One's thicker. I like these thicker ones, though. I don't know where I can get some more.
Josh, or Dwight has put a comment here in the chat. If you want to use a rolling stool or a chair, you can't if you use the rubber mats. And he's correct. He's correct. But if with the carpet tile, you can. I'm sitting on carpet tile right now, and I have an office chair, and it works beautifully. That's what these carpet tiles were originally designed for, office use.
All right, John, he had a good one here. He said, I always tell people when asked the outbuilding question, I tell them to finish it as if you're going to live there.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And Dwight said, exactly, Ralph. And Matt said, It's built in a shed with a wood floor and insulated and vapor barrier and mice proof. So evidently they got a lot of mice or mices in Florida.
How do you mouse proof a building?
That's what I was wondering.
Put a cat
That's
in
one
it.
of the same thing.
Put a cat in it.
Cat.
I was just going to say, you have an in-house cat?
Well, king snake will work good too.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
Or a black rat snake, you know. One about 6 foot long. Yeah.
No snakes. No snakes. Take the cat over the snake any day.
I sure hope that works. He's put peppermint for mice. Dwight says peppermint for mice.
Peppermint.
Yeah, it gives them clean breath.
Yeah.
They still have mice, but they smell better.
Yeah, when they fart, it doesn't smell so bad.
Wait a minute, mice and rats. If you take anything that gives gas, don't that kills them?
I have no idea.
Because I don't. Oh wait a minute. No, they do. They do leave resin turds and all that. I forgot about that.
Let's see. Yeah, Kenny was saying comfortable for you, comfortable for the trains.
That's a good way to put it.
Well, more so comfortable for you because you're the one that has to be comfortable in order to run the trains. And if you're comfortable, you're going to make a better layout.
White was saying dryer sheets work also.
Yeah.
Well, dryer sheets hasn't stopped them up here. I'll tell you that much. My wife leaves dryer sheets all over the floor, and I've caught the mice underneath the washing machine.
But are those used dryer sheets or are they new dryer sheets?
Really doesn't matter.
Well, they're saying for the smell, so I mean the smell of the new ones would be a lot stronger than the used ones would be. I don't know. I'd never heard that before, but
And I've never taken a new one and an old one and smelled them together. As far as I'm concerned, they all smell the same. But
I'm allergic to any of them, so we
well, there you go, right?
So I could line my house with them to get rid of the mice, but I'd get rid of me too. So.
All right, before we wind the show up, the all-time question that comes up this time every year. Yeah. Ron's over. I need to pull my earplugs. All right, what you getting for Christmas?
Who wants to start?
I've already got my Christmas presents in that striped box behind me. That's my Rapido, what did they call it? Draper taper? A Dash
Johnny,
8, Dash 40.
Johnny, I'm not gonna lie. I'm getting cool.
But did you ask for coal? That's the question.
No, he's been a bad boy.
I plead the fifth on that one. I'm not gonna answer that question.
I already know one of the things I know what I asked for, though I know one of the things I'm getting. I already found out. I'm getting a new camera for my rail painting, so I'm going to get a commercial style camera instead of using my phone.
Oh, is that so you stop using your dad's camera?
No, my dad doesn't do photography. I'm the only one that does photography in my family, actually.
You don't have to get mad about it.
No, though I'm just saying. So I'm getting that camera, and then the other reason why I'm getting that camera too is my phone does good in daylight, though at nighttime I'll get a better shot with the other camera.
Alright, I guess it's my turn.
Yeah.
Well, I just bought a new tripod. Bought it for myself. And good possibility, I'm thinking I'm getting something from Walthers. For, it might be the grain elevators, or grain bins. Or wait a minute, no. Wet and dry bins for the grain elevators.
All right.
That's all I know right now.
Was this something you asked for or something you ordered?
I asked for it, and my dad ordered it.
Okay. I thought maybe you were going to say you told them what you wanted and they said go ahead and order it.
No, they ordered it. I didn't order it.
That's cool.
Well, I'm getting some new professional lighting for the channel videos, which I have desperately needed since I started. So hopefully be able to see what I'm doing better whenever, or you'll be able to see what I'm doing better whenever I'm making videos. So.
Oh, you really want to know what we were getting for Christmas?
Yeah, that's what he asked.
Yeah.
Oh. I got 3 locomotives in today. I bought myself. I bought 2 NS AC 4400 CWs. They're the ones that have the black noses with the gray, and they're the horse. They call them the horse bonnets.
Yeah.
And then
That's
they got
DC. Wait a minute, no, AC to DC conversions.
Yes.
Right.
And then yep. And then I got SD6 and SD60M.
Which one?
That's a good question. I have to look at the road number.
Any dash 9s?
No, it's an SD60M.
You see those down here.
He wasn't paying attention.
No.
Told you, Josh. You have to pay attention. We're going to ask questions.
Yeah, real quick. Big Bill said he got an S2 locomotive with lock sound and DCC with the Staten Island road number 9031.
Cool.
Nice.
Very nice.
He said in the B&O colors.
Ooh, that's gonna be nice.
Oh yeah. The
And
blue.
let's see here. We had a question here. We'll hit on it real quick. Let me go back and find it. New Haven Rails. What is the best camera to use with making live YouTube videos? I have 2 GoPros I was going to try. Yeah, GoPros do okay, but
They're
they
too
do
wide
have a
an angle.
fisheye effect to them.
Yeah, they
it's
do.
a wide angle. Sony makes a good one.
Alright, where's mine? I got a Canon Pro Shot I can do videos with.
Yeah,
Fairly easy.
I've got the Power Shot that I use. I've also got my I've got a Sony camcorder, and I think the other one is a Canon camcorder. You can usually pick those up, especially this time of the year. You can pick them up for about $100 to $150. Now, one thing I've done is I like a camera that has a microphone plug on it, because sometimes it's hard to get the volume right. And if I got the camera a little ways away and I'm sitting at the workbench, I did invest a little bit. I bought a Boya. It's a BY-6MB, I think it is, wireless. I picked it up off of eBay for $124, and then I bought just a lapel type mic. Well, the Boya came with a lapel mic. They worked great, but I've also since bought a couple of other lapel mics that plug in. I can plug into it, and I really like that system. But I like being able to plug a microphone in just to improve the audio. So you get one for around $150, a little bit more, that has a microphone plug.
Ron?
Yes. Here, let me make that bigger.
Right, I'll see.
It's looking good.
But I will not be doing N scale very much longer, I'll tell you. Just
You're not.
my hands are too big for it.
You're not converting.
No, I won't be converting. No, I won't be doing that.
You know what I've been thinking? No. I might send all my locomotives to Ralph one of these days of weather. He wants to go anything bigger. He wants to go big.
You couldn't afford me, Josh.
I knew that was coming.
We got a question here from Matt. He said, another question. I have a Bachmann GP50, and it keeps throwing off the drive shaft one side. Any suggestions how to fix it?
I had that problem, so I avoided trying to fix it. I'm gonna let somebody else do that.
What's the radius that your tightest radius? Because that could also be part of the problem.
Yeah, I was going to say it could be in the knuckle coupler on the end of the drive shaft.
Yep.
Yeah, he gets it too tight a radius and it's wore out, it'll pop out. Now you have to go to A-line and get him a new knuckle coupler. Or a whole new drive shaft.
A whole new drive shaft for that one side.
Yeah, because it could be a drive shaft's wore out too. There you go.
The other thing you can do is find a piece of tubing that the inside diameter of the tubing is the size of your drive shaft. Split the drive shaft and just extend it slightly with the tubing so that it takes up any space. Where if you're doing tight curves, it's actually pulling it right out. What side of it is coming out? The flywheel or the gearbox?
All right, Jerry, we'll catch you later. You have a good Christmas. Merry Christmas. I got no response yet. All right, Buddy has asked, what's everyone's take on Menards small train stuff? They started out selling O-gauge, and now are selling HO. Anyone liking their buildings or freight cars? Matt said gearbox.
Yeah.
And Kenny said nice shirt, Ron.
Your mic, Ron.
I said Kenny's got one just like it. I know for a fact. So.
Yeah, with the drive shaft, before you go out and order or get a new drive shaft, try extending it with a piece of tubing and see if it makes a difference.
Yeah, cut it somewhere in the middle and add your tube
Yep.
in there.
Yep, splice it with a piece of tubing.
All right, Matt said mostly straight track and 22 and 24 inch radius curves for siding.
Interesting. Ooh, interesting. 22. And that was an SD50 or GP50?
Yeah, it is kind of interesting.
It is.
HO scale?
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's a Bachmann.
He said he'll
That
try
is.
that. I would check with A-Line first, make sure they got the drive shaft. So if it don't work, you can buy another one to replace it.
But then if it doesn't work, he's still euchred because he'll only have one drive shaft because one keeps coming out.
Yeah. That was the GP50, Jason Bachman.
Okay. Yeah.
So give it a try with the sleeve and let us know how it works out.
Yeah. Dwight said he had a drive shaft that was slightly too short, so he replaced it with another brand that was longer.
It can work providing the other shaft has the same type of connector on it.
Yeah.
Like I have.
Go ahead.
They're not all the same though. I have some that have like a ball on the end of it with a pin that goes through, and that ball fits into a socket that has a slot on either side, so it moves back and forth in that cup. I have another one in Intermountain use a hex drive, and I think Genesis also uses a hex drive, where it's the hexagonal opening and then a little nut or whatever on the end of the shaft that fits in.
Yeah. Bill Fusion's got an idea. He said on the Bachman, see if the motor can be moved back and forth a little and just adjust the motor. It may be tight on the other end at the other drive shaft. So,
but if it's a Bachman I'm thinking of, it's set in the frame, and it sits right in a pocket. There's really probably not much room.
I believe it's a pancake motor. But I can try answer the question on the Menards stuff.
okay.
I've been there a couple times. They do have some nice stuff. I think the O gauge is more towards the O27 instead of the O gauge.
O scale.
Or O scale. But
Eat 'em, Ralph.
Yeah, I agree with that. The buildings are pretty good in O scale. I mean, they're not the most detailed things, but you can touch them up and make them look good. Some of the cars are, like Jason said, 027-ish, but like they're flat cars that have the Army helicopters or the Coast Guard helicopters. They actually look pretty cool. The car is not that scale looking, but the load is.
Yeah.
But they're reasonably priced.
Yeah, they are. I couldn't believe that. I saw $20 for a car. I was like, dang.
Yeah,
But that's only for 27 but HO, all they got is buildings.
Whose brand?
Right now.
It's Menards brand.
Menards brand.
So they're probably getting somebody like Walters or Cornerstone to make them for them at a discount.
Yeah, I don't know who he's getting to make them. They're also selling die-cast cars and stuff too.
I've seen some of their construction vehicles, and I thought they were pretty neat. But it was O scale, and it was no good for me because I'm HO.
Yeah.
But I thought, oh wow, these are pretty neat. I wish they had them in HO.
I think they're gonna get to that point. They actually came out with a cool bulletin board looking thing in O scale. I bought two they're not lifts for the intermodal containers that they had.
The tractor ones or the gantry?
No, tractor.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, you got some nice stuff. I mean, some people who are doing more scale O and 3-rail scale O, I should say, are using some of the buildings and they like them, and they're more on the, I don't want to say prototypical side, but the more the realism side. So,
I think it's Woodland Scenics for the buildings.
You could be right. They do a lot
because
for different people too.
They started off getting Woodland Scenics buildings for O scale when they first came out with model train stuff and all that for 027 or old gauge or O scale. But I kind of like them. I wish I have some of the money to buy them now, but because like the Red Owl convenience store, that's kind of neat.
yeah, it is. Yeah, and he has the other cool one was the they have the power. Was it the power plant one? And the power.
Yeah.
There's the power one, and then there's the Pepsi one, and they're pretty similar. The other real nice one is the more what's that salt company that begins with an M?
Metro.
No, the one that has the girl with the rain jacket and the umbrella.
Morton Salt.
Morton.
Morton
Yeah.
Salt.
Morton Salt. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really nice blue building with a nice sign on it. It's really sharp looking for a pre-built building. And it already
Okay,
comes
I'm
with
pre-lit.
LEDs. Yeah.
I'm not an O-gauger, but I have to ask this question. And I heard somebody describe this yesterday, and I'm not sure whether he was correct or not. Since you're the O-gauger or O-scaler or whatever you want to call it, O27 is saying that it's O-scale or O-gauge, and the 27 stands for the radius of track.
Yeah,
or diameter. I guess. I don't know.
I believe that is true.
027's 2-rail too, isn't it, Chris?
No, it's 3-rail.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
That's the one that goes like stink, and when it gets to the corner, it just goes like that.
Yeah.
Right?
So the way it's described and the way I interpret it in the O scale world is O20. When you say you're running O27 or you're running, it's the diameter of the track, but it's also describing that you're running more of a toy train, like typically like the post-war stuff that we've commonly seen underneath the Christmas trees, that kind of thing. When you say that, like I always say, I'm a O-scaler, which means I'm running more scale equipment, because the
More prototypical.
The O27 equipment is not to scale, where the stuff that I buy is to scale. Meaning, and saying that is not the coupler, the space between when the cars are coupled is not prototypical, but the engines are modeled to scale. The cars are modeled to scale. So that's typically considered scale or high rail.
Still get that stuff.
And then you have the standard gauge guys that are running template. So there's really like 3 subcategories of O gauge, you can say.
Thank you.
In terms of 3 rail. No problem.
You can still get like higher, more scale stuff in 027. You can detail stuff. That's actually, other than the Santa Fe Warbond one I'm running, I'm pretty much 027. Scenery and stuff is all kit bash plastic built.
Alrighty. Well, we'll kind of wind this one up here. Get back to Matt here just for a second. He said that the motor sits in a pocket like you kind of figured there, Ralph. And he said, thanks, I will be putting an extension and see if that works first.
Okay. Sounds good.
So, I guess with that said, we'll kind of wind this one on up and see what kind of trouble we can get into over the weekend. Being Christmas.
Yeah, no kidding.
Let me get my stuff together here. Alrighty. I want to say go to YouTubeMallBuilders.com. There you'll find the schedules for the Tuesday, Wednesday shows. Those start at 8 o'clock Central, 9 o'clock Eastern Time. The Thursday show, that will be 9 o'clock Central, 10 o'clock Eastern Time. And also be sure and click on the eMag, sign up for an email notification when it comes in. Here comes Big Bill, and I'm closing the show down. Also, I
was closing the show down. Wait. I got something. Okay, go ahead. Close it down.
No! Johnny, stop! Hold on! The boss is here.
Okay, Josh. Okay, Josh.
Do you want to say anything, Bill, or?
Good night.
All right.
Hey, Johnny. One more thing. One more thing. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
All right. Okay. Just for everybody's FYI or whatever, December the 26th will be Ralph's Weathering Show. December the 27th will be Into the Locomotive Shop. Both of those will be at 8 o'clock Central, 9 o'clock Eastern Time next week on Tuesday and Wednesday. And then we'll have the Thursday night show on December the 28th. And that'll be it for the year of 2017. So, and the Thursday show, as everybody knows, is 9 o'clock Central, 10 o'clock Eastern Time. So, with that said, I want to say Merry Christmas to everyone. Hope you at least get 3/4 of what you were hoping for, if not all of it. So y'all have a good weekend, a safe weekend if you're out traveling. So we'll see you next week on December the 26th.